And good morning. It's 7:04 on this Monday, April 24th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. The sun is shining after a frosty morning here on April the 24th. We welcome you to our program. Don Hamlet is here, as usual, for Monday morning to talk about Absolute Kubota. Good morning.
Good morning, Coleman. How are you?
I'm doing well. Found out you played a little golf over the weekend.
Did. Got spanked a little bit, but they better look out later on in the summer. I'm going to come around.
And you said it had been a while since you played, but you're going to pick it back up.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to get back in it. I got to do something. Can't just sit around all the time. I got to stay busy.
Well, it's a great game.
It is. It's fun. It's fun.
Well, it's a great game at Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main in Lebanon. Don is the guy that you'll see if you're wanting to buy something there, the chief salesperson.
I don't know about that. I'm one of them.
Well, all right. Kubota tractors, hay equipment, zero-turn mowers, RTVs, everything from weed eaters to hay balers.
That's right. I like to talk about this morning, some Kubota tractors and some deals they've got going. A lot of people, in the community, you're going to know that interest rates have gone way up. Kubota is their own financing company. They do their own financing, so you don't have to worry about going through another bank or anything like that. As long as you've got just decent credit, you have an income flow, a good credit score, you can come in, say like an L2501 tractor, zero down, 0% interest for 72 months. Wow. Even all your M-Series tractors, different things like that, you're going to get all those zero down, 0% for 60 months.
So all you're doing, you're just spreading that payment out over
That's
those
it.
5 or 6 years.
Yeah, no interest.
We're talking about.
Yes, sir. No interest at all. It's just a great way. There's no need to get your money out of the bank, even if you can afford it. If you want to use your money, there's some people that just do not want a monthly payment. They don't want to have a loan. They have some great rebates. I did one the other day on, say, the little BX23S tractor. If you finance it, you get a $1,500 instant rebate, nothing the customer has to apply for, nothing like that. The BX23S is the small BX tractor with a loader that comes from the factory with a little backhoe. It's a great little tractor, or if you want to pay cash for it, I think it's $1,950 cash rebate you get just right off the price immediately without doing anything.
So you can just sort of put the pencil to it, see which way you want to go.
See which way you'd rather work with it.
But
Yep.
that's an outstanding deal, though, for somebody maybe who doesn't have that much money that
Sure.
in the bank or to spend or whatever. And all you got to do is just make your monthly payments during that period of time, either 6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
60 months, you said?
It's 5 years, 72 months. Right. They'll even take it all the way out to 84 months with a small amount of interest on your loan if you want to do it. I think when you walk in the door, Matt had a great idea. He had some little signs made up that we can hang on the lawnmowers we have just as you come in the showroom. We've got one of those RTVs pulled inside there too, and we have your monthly payment hanging right on the equipment so you can look at it and just see what your monthly payment is. Those you can get, depending on if you get a more inexpensive type home version all the way up through your commercial type mowers, you can either get 0 for 36 or 0 for 48 or 0% for 60 months, even on a lawnmower.
And Kubota does all this.
Yeah, you just come in, you sit down, we work through it like I've talked to you before. I ask you a few questions. We kind of figure out which piece of equipment you need. I get you a quote showing you the exact cost of everything with tax and everything. Stay at my desk. We don't really go anywhere. And I'll do your financing documents for you, and we stay right there again. Everything is e-signature. Anybody that's bought anything lately knows you get all these emails and do e-signature stuff. We sit at my desk. I have you a monitor. I have a monitor. We'll pull up your documents. We'll walk you through it. We'll sign them, print them off. A few minutes later, if you got your trailer, you can drive it home.
How long does this process usually take?
You can buy either. Let's say we spend 30 minutes out on the yard looking at tractors or lawnmowers or something. Probably another 30 minutes or less, we can get your finance docs done, do a walkthrough of the equipment, and if you have, like I said, if you have your trailer with you, you can go home, take it with you.
Give or take a few minutes.
Yeah. We hear all the time about somebody, I went and bought an automobile. This isn't going to be like that, is it? That took 3 or 4 hours, hopefully it doesn't. If the customer has a lot of questions and wants to go through a lot of different things, I'll stay with you all day. I always jokingly tell my customers, now I like to go to bed about 9:30 at night, but other than that, I'll hang right here with you.
Your time is their time.
That's right. That's why I get up in the mornings.
Well, no doubt you've made a lot of friends. How long you been with Absolute Kubota?
8 years this month. 8 years.
So you do have by now some repeat customers.
Oh yeah, several, and met a lot of people in town, because I worked in Gallatin, Tennessee for 30 years at different places, and coming to Lebanon, my wife had been over here teaching school, and since I've been here, I've really become to know a lot of people over here, and I'm learning my way around. You still can't tell me what street you live on. You got to say go to so and so and turn right, but I'll get you there.
Well, you have a lot of support equipment, let's say, for those tractors.
We do. We have full parts department. You can go see Colin or Gunner there. They'll be glad to help you out. One little tip: when you do come in, maybe know your model number of your tractor or lawn equipment. That really helps those guys look up. You can't just say I need an oil filter for a Kubota tractor. So give them a little help when you come in, or you can call Clint in our service department. And if you want to keep your equipment at home until the time for your appointment, he'll set you up an appointment. Either you can bring it in, or if we actually have a way, we'll come get it, bring it in, do your service, and then it can turn around and go right back home.
Well, got plenty of Red Max trimmers and blowers, too.
We do. We got lots of Red Max trimmers and blowers. We got all that stuff set up in stock, ready to go. Land Pride implements. We can get you all fixed up, whether you want a cutter, box blade, post hole digger, whatever it is you want, pallet forks, hay spears, you name it. We got them sitting there.
And you are open not only Monday through Friday, 7 to 6 now?
5.
7 to 5. 7 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Yep.
And Saturdays?
8 till 12.
All right. I need to change my notes here.
That's okay.
We'll get that done.
That's all right.
Well, I know Clark Boyd is here. State Representative Boyd, we are ready for you.
He may be out in the hall doing a little
He may
politicking
be
or something.
talking to Billy. Yeah. But anyway, Don, I hope it's going to be a great day here. It's just a little frost this morning.
Little bit cool this morning, but I think it's going to get up into the upper 60s. Supposed to be pretty. Come see us.
All right, and I hope you get to yell 4 a few times, too.
I do, too. Coming up, yes.
Don Hamlet, Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main in Lebanon. You'll find those Kubota tractors, hay equipment, zero-turn mowers, RTVs. Of course, we tell you about it every Monday here, and their phone number is 615-449-6171. State Representative Clark Boyd is with us, and we've got a lot to talk about this morning. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Coleman. How are you today?
I'm doing well. Been 2 weeks since we've seen you, and a lot has happened in 2 weeks.
We wrapped up the General Assembly on Friday night.
Did you think when you left here 2 weeks ago today that we'd be talking like that this morning, really?
I really didn't. Normally we file the resolution to go into flow motion, which changes the rules somewhat. Normally, you file a bill and hear it the next week in subcommittee, and then the next week in full, and the next week in GovOps. And so it could take a month to get a bill to the House floor, and amendments have to be filed at a certain time. Flow motion speeds that up, where you could literally run a bill in subcommittee, an hour later, full committee, an hour later, finance, and an hour later on the House floor. And normally we do that, and we operate that way for a couple of weeks. This time we did it, and we finished up in 1 week and got out of there. And I think it has just been such a messy year. I mean, the last couple of weeks, ever since the Covenant School shooting, it has just been it's been unreal. I mean, I would actually say that there will be some members that won't come back. Not because they'll be beat. I just think they've had enough. That they're just the abuse that they're taking, and the just the stress and just everything that's going on. I think there are some members that maybe were on the fence that were, do I really want to do this? I mean, is this supposed to be a part-time job? And
and this helped make their decision.
Well, I'm just hearing that from some people that they're members are saying, oh, so and so is probably not coming back. I mean, they'll finish out their term, but I would say they're not going to run again. And I'm starting to hear that from just certain members, and it is a tough job for a job that's supposed to be a part-time gig.
Well, how has this affected you? Because it's been different, especially the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Well, I would say it's like walking down a hallway with a line of people on each side and everybody yelling at you. And if you step too far to the left, you get hit by those folks. You step too far to the right, you get hit by those folks. And you're getting it from both sides. There's an issue. It's really hard sometimes to figure out exactly what to do because people live in their own universe now. And this is something we have seen for a while. And so my wife is a counselor and everything. And I think a lot of this is driven by social media now, where people get their news, in the sense that if you go on social media and you like a news article that's conservative, or if a liberal likes it, the algorithm or the artificial intelligence thinks he must like this. Let's feed him more of this. And you start down two people that could be very similar in their views could start down two different trajectories and rabbit holes. And eventually all of your news is the same thing. And you're in your own little universe and you just assume that the whole world thinks what you think. And that is a problem we're seeing with children that have grown up with social media, with anxiety. They don't know how to form relationships. They think they're open-minded, but they're in fact very closed-minded. And it's a phenomenon that we're seeing in adults too. And politically, I've said all that to say that politically, I can meet two different people that on the outside look very similar and have very similar, lifestyles and families, but they absolutely believe what they believe, and it's getting more and more difficult, and that's why you're seeing such a polarization in politics. The left's getting more liberal, the right's getting more conservative, and so having said that, being a state representative is a very abusive job. I mean, because of that, and so just the nasty emails that you receive, and there's still a lot of good stuff coming out of the legislature. Don't get me wrong; it's a rewarding job, and we help a lot of people, and we fix a lot of wrongs, and do a lot of good work. But it can be frustrating at times, and I could understand where someone. It just depends on how well you handle stress, but it's a lot of work.
State Representative Clark Boyd is here. Time for us to take a break. This is Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And it's 7:16. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. It's all brought to you by Absolute Kubota. Premium brands require premium parts and service. Contact Absolute Kubota's Elite Certified Service Department to schedule an appointment. 1506 West Main, 449-6171. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. As traffic continues to struggle a bit, leaving Rutherford County headed towards Nashville. We've had a series of wrecks earlier through the Hickory Hollow area that slowed that traffic down a little bit. So as you leave Murfreesboro, Rutherford County headed towards Nashville, just to play it safe, give yourself a little bit of extra time as it also increases through the Mount Juliet area with that volume on 40 going west headed towards Hermitage and Donaldson. Prince's Hot Chicken is catering. They're online. Check out that awesome menu today at princeshotchicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Have you ever wondered what the ministry of Jesus was really like? Now, thanks to Angel Studios, you can get a glimpse. The most successful crowd-funded series in history is coming to College Hills. By now, you've heard of or seen snippets of The Chosen, but maybe a busy schedule has kept you from enjoying it without interruption. Sunday afternoon, College Hills will be hosting this outstanding portrayal of the life and ministry of Jesus. There will be no formal worship time or collection. The event is free and open to the whole family. Following the showing, there will be a Q&A led by members of College Hills and other faith communities. Join us for light snacks and beverages at 4:30 p.m. and for the 1-hour showing at 5 p.m. Reignite your passion for the Savior of the world and expand your knowledge of His mission. Once again, that's Sunday afternoon, 5 p.m., at the College Hills Church of Christ on Leeville Pike in Lebanon, Tennessee. Come and see for yourself. Visit collegehills.org for more information.
Coleman and Company, thanks for joining us here on a Monday morning. State Representative Clark Boyd, pick up where we left off.
Oh yeah, like I was saying, there's a lot of work, but I jokingly with my buddies sometimes we'll say, did we seriously get out and door knock all summer and raise money to do this job? I mean, it's a tough job. I mean, you're down there late. You're eating a granola bar in your office it's not the swanky fancy lunch stuff that people think it is. I mean, it's hard work, and And like I was telling you, and I'll wrap it up on this. You know, you kind of, you would think you would get abuse from the other political party, and believe me, you do. But sometimes it does get, it can be frustrating when, you know, Reagan's old rule: if if somebody agrees with you 80% of the time, you need to take that and work with them on the other 20. Politics is getting, like I said, more polarizing. It's reached a point. I said it's like being on a football field and being one of the players and winning the game and walking off the field and your fans throwing Coke cups at you, and you go, well, we won, and they say, yeah, but I didn't want you to kick a extra point. I wanted you to go for a 2-point conversion, and you're like, but we won, you know, but you didn't win the way they wanted you to, and so it gets to be it's frustrating, and I wish we did a better job. And I'm just speaking to Republicans in general. I wish we did a better job sometimes of rallying around our own, because the Democrats do a pretty good job of. I mean, they protect their own, and we don't. Oftentimes and I think that's just the price you pay for having a supermajority. You break up into tribes within your own party, and then it's hard sometimes to rally all the troops.
Well, let's talk about you finished. Are you pleased with the end result of last? What time did you adjourn? By the way, Friday afternoon, evening?
Friday evening. I don't remember, 8 o'clock maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, are you basically pleased with the result here so far?
You know, I think we did. I passed a lot of bills this year that I was proud of, that I worked on leading up to session. I'm proud of that. We did a lot of good things this year. A lot of good things came out of this General Assembly. I mean, there were some. I'm hearing we're going to be called back in for a special session, and I think that there are a lot of people that would like to have seen something done there. And my understanding is the governor, you know, said we need to do something. We kind of put together our team and of people that and when I say team, everybody's kind of got their specialty. Like if you hadn't figured this out, I'm kind of the utility energy guys. A lot of my focus is on that or workforce. We've got people that they mainly do mental health, or they mainly do guns, or they do education. Well, we sent some of our folks over to have a conversation with him, and I don't know that he really had anything. He just wanted to do something and asked them, and so.
Do you think he has succumbed to the pressure as the fallout, the pressure from what happened at the Covenant School?
Well, probably, but one thing I'll say about Bill Lee is he's not really a politician, and sometimes that's a good quality. Sometimes, though, you're at a little bit of a disadvantage, or you're naive, I guess would be the way to put it. And so I'm sure he has, and so he's saying, what can we do? And so they met, and we said, well, there are some things in the mental health world that we really need to address. It would not be a gun bill, but it's some mental health things, which subsequently would affect one's ability to own a gun, depending on if you're adjudicated or under treatment. And then the Senate, I think, didn't really want to take anything up at all. And so we had our members work on something over the weekend, came up with a few things that I think will be addressed in the special session. But ultimately, the two chambers couldn't come together. And I think the governor said, well, if y'all can't come up with anything, you need more time, then let's just do a special session. But I think it will be more centered on mental health.
Do you think we're talking about, what, 2 weeks here is what I'm hearing? And
I haven't heard, Coleman. If it is, please let me know the dates. I can put it on my calendar.
Personally, I think y'all need a little break, and it ought to be a little bit longer, into June or sometime. But it would seem you've been through a lot here, and especially the last 2 weeks. Don't you need a little recuperating time?
Sure. I mean, I'll go whenever he calls us in. I mean, but I think that's what it'll be centered around mainly is mental health. But I don't know what the Senate will try to do, or if the governor has a piece of legislation. I keep hearing about it, but I've not seen it yet.
Well, if others had a different idea, especially about when, is there? If the governor calls it. It's called. I mean, he has that authority, right, to call it.
That's right, he does.
And nothing you can really do about it but go meet.
That's correct, yeah. Yeah, we would be duty bound. I mean, you could get, if you were going to be out of town, or you could, for whatever reason, could not make it work, you could be excused. But, when we're in session, if you don't come, they have the authority to come detain you and take you down there. I mean, I've not seen that yet in my career, but over the last few years, every once in a while, you would see one party sneak out of a state to deprive the other of having a quorum. And if they have to leave the state, because if they're in the state, they could go arrest them and bring them in. So, that does happen.
Well, we've probably the dollar amount is more than we've ever had in a budget
Of state dollars. It's the same as it was during the last year, but less federal, more state. I think, we've taken care of some things that needed to be done. Of course, I don't like to see the state budget grow. I mean, I'll just put that out there. I'd like to see a leaner budget, but we've taken care of some things that need to be done. Our DCS system had a lot of issues, and we've put, when we get done on Friday night and our staff's not there over the weekend, we don't have all of the exact numbers that they usually will get for us to help us with this. But I think it was $190 million extra that I think a lot of theirs was their workers were underpaid. They were having a hard time retaining DCS employees. The families that keep foster children were not being paid adequately. They didn't have enough beds for the children. And so a lot of the things that we're seeing are plaguing the private sector and the public sector, and that is there's just some labor shortages. There's a lot of jobs competing for a limited amount of labor. And so one of the things we did this year is bring state pay for almost every state employee up to where the salary adjustment said that it needed to be, and we're hoping that we can fill those DCS positions. We've hired on 25 new forensic folks at the TBI to be able to process those rape kits faster. And so some of the money that we've had this year has gone to good things. I'm trying to think of a few things.
Well, I'm thinking that when the session started, mostly what we seemed to talk about was schools and roads.
So we did pass the $3 billion Modernization Act. We don't borrow money on our roads. We pay cash. This will speed up how fast a road is built. It will allow more to use the alternate delivery method, which should get the roads delivered in it's almost cutting it in half on how quick a road can be built. Not quite, but it does reduce the time significantly. It will allow those choice lanes to be built in certain urban areas. The feedback I got was that everybody was okay with that. I mean, every once in a while you could find somebody and they would usually have some anecdotal story about going to Disney World in the 1980s and having to pay with coins at a toll road, and you'd say, this is not what that is. It's just one lane. You don't have to use it. You can stay in the others. And so everybody seemed to be okay with that. There's going to be millions that come to Wilson County for the county to spend on roads. So I think that was pretty good. We're $140 million. This was a last minute thing. I'm sure somewhere in the budget, there was somebody that thought something was going to be funded that lost that, because we all of a sudden shifted $140 million for a school resource officer in every school. And Coleman, regardless of what we do on all these other things, there's a statewide conversation, just as there is nationally about mental health and guns, where those two worlds intersect. But at the end of the day, if the front door is wide open at a school and you don't have someone there that's armed that can stop an intruder, somebody could come in with a bow and arrow and kill people, or a chainsaw. And so if you could time travel back and make it where guns never even were invented, someone could go in with a lead pipe. And so we need school resource officers in these schools. And so we have always been in a strange spot where we couldn't make them have them because it was an unfunded mandate. It was never included in the school funding formula because it's usually law enforcement that provides it. Now, some school systems like Knox County they actually have school board employees that are law enforcement officers. They do theirs a little differently. Here in Wilson County, the sheriff's department just provides it because they're Wilson Countyans. They need to be protected, and really appreciate our sheriff and his guys doing that. But what we've said is you're going to get roughly $75,000 for every school in the state that is public. Now, if you already have them, you can hire another school resource officer. You can use it for other funds, but there's no more excuse for these rural counties that say, well, our sheriff's department's not big enough. Well, here's your 75, pay the sheriff and have him hire somebody and put them there. And so we're going to do that. There's $40 million for safety grants. Our schools are in such good shape. I mean, if you go visit school, you're just not getting in. I mean, unless they see you on the camera. It's not the case statewide, though. So we need to work on that, and there's $40 million for that. And then private schools, we don't do anything for as a state. I mean, they're totally on their own. But after this private school shooting that happened, we put a little bit of money aside, about $14 million in a grant. We're not funding private schools, but it's a grant. And so if you're a smaller mom and pop private school somewhere and you really would like to get bulletproof glass or get some magnetic door locking system or something, you can apply and get that. And so I did something. I've mentioned that a lot of our concerns statewide, whether it be law enforcement, teachers, everything, and in the private sector, is just a lack of labor. And so I passed a bill, and I when I presented it, I read Matthew 9:37, the one that says the harvest is plenty, but the workers are few. Right. And that is the case right now. We have so much work available, high-paying jobs. And so what I did is I said that if you're on state unemployment, we're creating more activities that qualify. It used to be you're on unemployment, apply for 3 jobs, and that's it. Yeah. Now we're saying no. We're actually letting you apply for 4 jobs, but it's not even jobs. It could be that you go to a job fair, or that you polish up your resume, or you apply to the state job site website, or we're creating just a whole list of things that you can do. And what we're trying to do is get these people plugged into good paying jobs. And there's so many out there, and the more activities you do that get you in front of future employers, or the more activities that you do that get your resume polished up and in good shape, or take a skills assessment test or something like that, the more likely you are to get a job. And so we're not doing that. That's not punitive. We're not trying to hurt people that are unemployment. We're just trying to help you, do more activities that will get you employed. We have so that's a good thing, and I'm trying to think of a few things. We got
to wrap it up.
Yeah, we're doing a major investment in the TCATs, Tennessee College of Applied Technology. We are recognizing that we've got to get our graduates matched up with the jobs that are out there, and TCATs, the Tennessee College of Applied Technologies, do a great job of that, and so we're doing a huge investment in that this year.
Thanks so much for being with us. We'll work on next time. I'm not even sure myself.
Well, hey, probably after the special session, I'd say we'll see each other again.
All right. State Representative Clark Boyd in Part 1 of Coleman and Company. Keep it here for more. FM 98.9.
And to 7:32, let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Bates Ford, that regular oil change $34.95, up to 5 quarts oil, tax and disposal, $16.73 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. It's quite crowded still here on 24, trying to get up through the Hickory Hollow area. Coming in from Rutherford County right now on 24 westbound. It's been slow from some earlier accidents that we had. Still heavy over here on 840 going westbound, where it connects with 65 through this part of Williamson County. Crowded as expected coming off that Ram from Vietnam. That's on to 65 going southbound. Hey, Nash Painting services all of Middle Tennessee. If you want your house painted right this spring and summer, you'll check with these guys first. NashPainting.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Hello, Cumberland baseball fans. The 23rd ranked Cumberland Phoenix gets to play at the 6 one last time, as they will host Shawnee State on Friday, April 28th and Saturday, April 29th in a best 2 out of 3 series, with the winner advancing to Bowling Green in the Mid-South Conference Tournament. Game times have yet to be announced, so continue to check our website at gocumberlandathletics.com. But regardless of game time, this will be your last chance to see one of the most explosive offensives in Cumberland history. If you can't make it out to the 6, tune in to these radio stations or to the Cumberland website for every pitch. Go Phoenix!
No rain to worry about as we start another week, and it will be a mild day if you've got work outside. Temperatures have to climb through the 30s at first, but we will see a sunny high of 64 by this afternoon. We will start to see a few more clouds this evening with a low of 40 degrees. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. That's a look at your forecast. I'm number 1 Ned.
Coleman and Company, welcome to part two. It's a Monday morning. The sun is shining. A little bit of frost this morning, but I hope this is the last one till next October. But anyway, we welcome Billy Mullinax to talk about Mount Juliet Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
And how are you?
I tell you what, I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Doing fine. How's your April going so far?
It is going really, really good, Coleman. It is really good.
Glad to hear that.
Yeah. April is typically a pretty good month, not one of the best, but yeah, I think because we have to pay taxes in April, maybe.
Well, that's already over.
Well, just barely. People are still crying about it, though. So.
Well, I don't think they're going to be crying if they pay a visit to 600 Pleasant Grove Road in Mount Juliet and see all those wonderful ideas you have for transportation.
That's exactly right, Coleman. And I don't tell stories too often anymore about people that travel a long way, but Saturday, and we do have them on a regular basis. I guess it got so commonplace that we quit talking about it. But Saturday had some people from Texas that had drove 10 hours to come and buy a Gladiator. And I spent some time talking with them, and a friend of his was the general manager at a Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram store in Texas. And he showed him the deal that we had given him. He said, "You need to go buy that." He said, I can't touch it."
Wow.
Yeah. So that's just a testimony to the prices that we have, and somebody that drove 10 hours to come and get a vehicle, and the amount of money that they were able to save.
Well, I love that story.
Yeah.
I want you to tell more when you can.
Yeah. Well, and those happen, pretty regular, Coleman. Like I said, that was just top of mind because I did talk to them quite really, really fine people. But spent some time talking with them Saturday.
Well, 10 counties away is pretty good, but I mean, all the way to Texas.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Well, we always remind everybody you can see the entire inventory of those new and pre-owned cars at Mount Juliet Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram at their website, mountjulietcdjr.com.
Might even see your neighbor there, Coleman.
Got it in one more time.
That's right. That's right.
Well, that's where most people start, mountjulietcdjr.com, and see what the inventory is. And we keep saying this, but I think it's good to let people know you can go there and not even know that you have visited other than somebody did. They don't even know who it is.
That's exactly
you don't
right,
have
Coleman.
To click and leave information to get what you want.
You can see the price of the vehicle clearly posted there. You don't have to click to get a price and leave your information to get a price. If you want more information, you certainly can leave us your information, whether it be email or phone number or whatever, and we will contact you and get you more information. But you don't have to do that to get a price.
Does that happen quite a bit, though? People do want more information.
Oh, yeah.
And your salespeople jump on that. That's great.
We have an internet department that handles those leads that come in, Coleman, and then they kind of assign them out to salespeople.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that happens very, very often. Very often.
Well, I think the last couple of times we talked quite a bit about your inventory, and it has increased significantly in the last few weeks and months. A lot more than it was a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Coleman, a year ago or so right now, we were down to about, probably 20 to 25 new vehicles. We've got about 90 on the ground right now. I've got another 90 that is in transit right now. Now, with transportation being the way it is, how quickly they will get there, I don't know.
Hopefully by the 4th of July.
Well, they'll be there hopefully before then. But probably sometime next month. Used to, I could tell you within 2 weeks they'll be there, but that's not always the case anymore.
But things are getting better.
Things are getting better. Inventories are improving some, and and we've still got about 140 pre-owned vehicles, Coleman. So not everybody wants a new vehicle. Some people, and not everybody may want a Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. as good as they are, there are people that buy other types of vehicles, and in pre-owned, we carry just a little bit of everything. So we'll probably have something close to what you're looking for.
We used to kind of think if we could get something for less than $10,000. There's not many of those around anymore, are there?
There's not, Coleman. It's getting very, very difficult to have those vehicles because a lot of times those vehicles are just not going to be reliable vehicles, because as you know, everybody knows all prices have gone up.
Inflation's the word.
That's exactly right, and so vehicles have not been left out of that. And pre-owned vehicles have risen considerably during this time of lower new car inventories, and that has softened a little bit. But you know, it's kind of like gas prices. Once they go up, they may come down a little, but they don't ever go back to where they were.
Yeah. All right. Well, again, 600 Pleasant Grove Road, the easy side of Mount Juliet, and you're there with a great location, a great product, great facility, a beautiful aquarium. We could go on and on.
I'm glad you got that aquarium in, Coleman. I had somebody come in the other day and said, "You got an aquarium in here?" I said, "Yeah, 3,000 gallons," and we're very proud of it. But it is beautiful. People that not many people come there, Coleman, just to look at it. We have had that happen, but people certainly spend time looking at it while they are there.
Yeah. Well, that's just one of the little side or fringe benefits, I guess, of Mount Juliet Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
That's exactly right,
All
Coleman.
right. Well, Billy, have a great week. We'll see you next Monday.
See you next Monday.
Billy Mullinax, General Manager, Mount Juliet Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, 600 Pleasant Grove Road in Mount Juliet. All right, about 20 minutes before the hour here on a Monday, and it's time for me to introduce Tim Leeper. Tim Leeper comes from time to time, normally once a month to be with us, and we missed a day sometime back, and we're kind of making up one this morning. Tim, good morning.
Morning. I want to say that I bought a vehicle from Billy Mullinax one time not too long ago for my son, or actually he bought it, and it couldn't have been an easier process. I just wanted to say that because Billy is my second favorite Rotarian in the morning club. So I'm just saying he is fantastic to work with.
Well, that's good. That's good to know. Billy has really done two things basically in his adult life, I think. One was sell food, and the other is to sell cars. And he says you got something you're selling there. You got to be your person, whatever you're doing, and people got to trust you in this sort of thing. And I think people do trust him a lot. Well, good to see you this morning.
Good to be seen.
I think people have been trusting you with their roofing needs for quite some time. Tim Leeper Roofing, Mama's Metal Roofing, and how are things going right now? You know, we had a lot of damage here not too long ago, and I know that's taken some of your time.
Yeah, things are good. You know, it's still busy, and people are still, calling in. I think some people are just waiting for that first wave to get over, and now they're on the second wave, and they're calling their claims in. So we're still handling them daily, multiple calls a day. I'm glad to take them whenever they come in.
Well, you've got some people with you this morning, and it's your time. We're going to do things like you want as best I know how. So you tell me what you want to do next.
Well, I want to kind of share the time because we've got a couple of guests, and I'll let you introduce them, that we want to talk a little today about our Rotary Golf Tournament. So I'll just kind of let you drive from here.
Well, Galen Wilson.
Yes.
Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Let me make sure you're turned up far enough here. All right, try it again. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, that looks good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, and I too want to give a shout out to Billy Mullinax. He sponsored several car oil changes and tire rotations for volunteer drivers for Wilson Rides, and that meant a lot to those drivers who volunteer quite a bit. So I want to thank him for that.
We're going to make this Billy Mullinax Day.
No, I just felt the need, like Tim did, to say what a terrific guy he is, and I just wanted to make sure people knew what all they did there.
Well, I'm glad. I think he's a pretty good guy too. Go
Well,
ahead.
We're here to talk about the 34th Annual Rotary Club of Lebanon, the Noon Lebanon Club, the Foundation Golf Tournament. It's coming up on May 8th, and it's going to be held at the Tennessee Grasslands Golf and Country Club, the Foxland Links course, which is a private course. So we are super excited about that, and anyone who's not had a chance to play this course, because it is private, now is the perfect time to sign up.
Tim, are you a golfer by any chance?
I have golf clubs. I am not a golfer.
Are you going to be playing in this tournament?
I will be at the golf course with my golf clubs, but I probably will not be playing much.
Well, what else information would you like to share? Yeah, John Pope is here. John, good morning to you.
Good morning, Coleman.
Good to have you as always. And
Always love coming to Coleman Walker Show.
now, what role are you playing here this morning?
Well, I have been the chairman of our club's golf tournament for several decades now. So I think I'm gonna have to die to get off of it. But as you know, our club has a long history of golf tournaments dating back to when we named the tournament the Doctor's Chili Low Scramble, where you played your own ball, and then we've segued to a 4-person scramble over the last decade or so, and unfortunately we had a loss 2 weeks ago with our longtime member Gwen Lannis, and the club, we'd like to kind of name the scramble now after him, and we always have the Dr. Low, the Chili Low format where you play your own ball. So who knows? The future may be that we're playing two golf tournaments per year. That would be pretty awesome.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah, I think so. Honor 2 great men of this town and of our club. So,
Well, I have to say, in my lifetime, I've known them both. Knew Gwen quite well at one time.
yeah.
And certainly sorry about his passing. I think we talked about that a little bit before, but I'm really happy for him and his family, and the fact that you are naming this in his honor.
Yeah,
his memory.
Yeah, he loved golf. He loved this tournament. He always had great visions of what we could do at the tournament, and so this is actually the 34th year of this golf tournament, or the club having a tournament. And so, like Galen said, we're really excited, and as Tim is our existing president, which I know it was Billy Mullinak's day, but it's also Tim Leeper Day. He's letting us come on during his time, and he's been a great president of our club this year.
Well, yes, we appreciate Tim. Tim has, I'll have to say, the first time I think I remember much about you was whenever we started doing this softball field over on Hobbs Avenue, and you jumped into that and really made a big thing out of that. And then next thing I know, you're out here advertising your roofing business, and I've got to know you a little bit. And I mean, you're just one of our regulars now, but you do more than roofing, that's for sure.
Yeah, we do. I always tell people that when we're talking about work is roofing is the vehicle that I use to do the community stuff that I enjoy doing. Because if I could figure out a way to make a living in just Rotary, I'd probably figure that out. I've loved Rotary since I've been in it, and I've only been in it a short time, but I always tell people that if somebody had asked me, years earlier, I probably would have joined Rotary years earlier. I just wasn't asked, and just sometimes the timing is not right. But yeah, roofing is what I do for a living, but community stuff is what I really enjoy most doing.
All right, let's take our break right here. This is Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And it's 7:48. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Absolute Kubota, premium brands require premium parts and service. Contact Absolute Kubota's Elite Certified Service Department to schedule an appointment. 449-6171. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. I see a crash underneath the overpass here. It's 40 westbound, right at Briley Parkway, over near the airport. It's not causing a backup. It's just in a terrible spot. That traffic volume is already heavy coming in from Hermitage, Donaldson. Behind it, you got that push of traffic in from Wilson County arriving now by the airport there at Donaldson Pike. Again, that's 40 westbound near Briley. Watch for that wreck. Again, it's in a terrible spot coming in right now from Dixon County. Lots of radar out there. Several calls on it. I-40 east and west around 840. Nash Painting is Middle Tennessee's #1 residential and commercial painters. Check them out at online nashpainting.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Gregory Dental Group in Lebanon is a family dental practice located across from Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. They offer cosmetic procedures, dental implant services, and now featuring new digital dentures. Premium dentures in just 2 appointments. No insurance, no problem. Call about our discount plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Derek Gregory. In my office, you can count on a compassionate staff who will truly listen to you, take the time to get to know you, and discuss your personal needs. I look forward to meeting you.
Gregory Dental Group, 444-0322, West Medora Parkway across from Gibbs Pharmacy.
Get a great deal on select Kubota equipment, the #1 rated tractor brand for durability and owner experience in the U.S. The versatile lineup features performance-matched attachments to help you make the most of your land. Right now at participating dealers, get a Kubota compact tractor for 0 down, 0% APR for 84 months. Now through June 30th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com/offers for full disclaimer.
Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main in Lebanon.
Coleman & Company, thanks for joining us. Our program presented by Tim Leeper Roofing and Mama's Metal Roofing, and Tim is here. We're talking about a lot of things this morning, Tim, but you're still doing roofing. As you expressed that so well. You're in the roofing business to make a living, but you're using that to do a lot of other things. And if you didn't have the roofing businesses that you have here to provide for you, you might not be able to do Rotary like you do, or sponsor some of these things, or even have a program here where you can invite somebody out to help them out.
Yeah, that's right. I've always loved roofing, enjoyed it. I get to go to a new place pretty well every day, sometimes multiple times a day. So, I don't have to sit on the job anymore and watch it or work with the guys. But I do enjoy it. Every time I go to a job, I have a ladder in the back of my truck. I go up on the roofs. When I go to the job, I never don't go up on the roof. The ladder's sitting up there. I'll go up, walk around, talk to the guys, pick up a few bags, put it in the trash for them. Just little things like that. Yeah. And they remember that.
Well, Galen, I bet you haven't done any roofing in your life to speak of.
I have not participated in roofing.
But you're glad to know that we have roofers like Tim who are available to take care of the job when it's needed.
I am one of Tim's future projects already, so I'm happy for Tim, yes. And Tim Leeper Roofing. And, he embodies service above self, so it's not surprising that he loves Rotary as much as he does. He's been a great Rotarian, and for all the things that he's done in the community, but he's also been a great president. I'm not sure if he's counting down his days or not, but he has been a great president, and we certainly want to send him out with a bang with a full golf tournament too. So maybe Tim needs some people on his team since he's bringing his clubs and hasn't talked about how good he is as a golfer, but we'd like to fill the tournament up. So.
Well, again, I think you were saying May 8th is the date for the tournament.
May 8th.
What day of the week is that?
It's a Monday, a beautiful Monday.
Okay, what is that, 3 weeks?
2 weeks from today.
2 weeks from today.
2 weeks from today. Well, how full are you?
We're pretty full.
Yeah, we have room, though. We have room for several teams. You can go on LebanonNoonRotary.org and register your team on there. You can go to the Lebanon Noon Rotary Facebook page and register there as well. Mm-hmm. But we do have room for several more teams. We have a couple of host sponsors and cart sponsorships available as well. So if you would like to, get involved but you can't play or can't bring a team, there's sponsorship still available. Mm-hmm. So there's lots of opportunity to get involved in this tournament.
What is your role in this, John?
Well, Chairman, I've been the chairman. In fact, we were looking at it after Gwen's passing, that the history of our golf tournament, and I took over in 2005 for the golf tournament for the club.
Was this 18 years maybe?
Yeah.
Something like
Yeah. 18 years. I have a problem. I don't know how to say no.
Well, there are probably people that appreciate that.
My wife does.
That is this a pretty big fundraiser for you? I mean, it is a fundraiser.
It is. It is. I mean, behind Tim, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, behind our concession booth at the fair,
Right,
it's
yeah.
probably our second largest behind that fundraiser.
Well, that booth at the fair has been extremely good, fine for Rotary as well as the Lions Club. Two local clubs who have and Rotary started a long time in the beginning. You were there several years before Lions came along. But as the fair grew, there's room for both, and both have done well. And that is a big thing. But this is very important for you too.
It is. And several years ago, we decided that we would name a benefiting organization to kind of join forces with us to help the tournament get bigger and raise more money for our general fund, for the Rotary's general fund, as well as that benefiting organization. This year, as well as last year, Wilson Rides is our benefiting organization. So they will get a large percentage of the proceeds from this tournament.
Okay, so that kind of is your connection here, Galen.
That's right.
And anything that's going to help you with Wilson Rides, I mean, you're going to be out front, no doubt, because you've put so much into this, and it does mean so much to a lot of people.
It does. I mean, I'm proud of Wilson Rides, but I'm also proud of this Rotary Club. I joined this particular, I'm from Mount Juliet, but I joined the Lebanon Noon Club to meet people, and I'd heard so many good things about the people that were involved in Rotary, and I've ventured out and participated in other projects that Rotary has done, and I just, I really like this club, and when I saw the chance to help with something that I was familiar with, which was a golf tournament, I joined in, and I certainly was happy that we would be the beneficiary, but, I plan, if John will have me, I plan on moving forward even when there is a different beneficiary of helping run the tournament. So, but I do want to say thank you to Wilson Bank and Trust, because I'm not sure how many years they've been involved, but they are a title sponsor again, and we certainly couldn't do this without them.
Well, this is, I mean, you're a banker too, John. Not with Wilson Bank, but you're Southern Bank, I believe, Southern
That's
Bank
correct.
of Tennessee. But banks are not in competition in everything. Sometimes they work together. We've seen that happen several times in our community. But really, the golf tournament here it sounds like it's kind of been your baby that you've had to rock all these years.
Well, it has. I mean, we've had a lot of great Rotarians part of our club that have helped over the years. Tim's been a big supporter, even before he was president this year, of this golf tournament each and every year that he's been a member of this club, even probably before. So we just have a great Rotary club. As you know, we were the first club. That's how we like to say, we were the first club in the county, and the other three spawned off of us.
Which is definitely true.
It is. Now we're 101 years old.
Yeah.
It is a great club. We've got a lot of great people that have been involved in this golf tournament each and every year. And
okay, let's one more time. You do have some of there. You can participate if you're a business or an individual. There are ways you can participate. Help this be an even bigger golf tournament financially. And sponsorships are available, but we won't go through all of that. But if you're interested at all, large or small, go to your website.
Go to the website, LebanonNoonRotary.org, or the Lebanon Noon Rotary Facebook page. You can register for both sponsorships and teams on either one of those sites, and we have plenty of room. I mean, 2 Mondays from today, it's going to be 75 degrees and sunny out there at a private golf club in Gallatin, Tennessee. That's, now with the completion of 109, it doesn't take 10 minutes to get to that golf course from here. So not not an issue there. So yeah, we've got plenty of room to have people come out and get involved.
Okay, well, if you would like to at all, just take John's advice here, and these golf tournaments are a lot of fun. If whether you're a great golfer or just get out there to participate in the fellowship and all that goes with that. And what time does it actually start?
Well, we do registration and lunch at 11, and it's a shotgun start at 1 o'clock.
Okay, all right. Now, we'll wind up talking a little bit about Tim's roofing again, but let me pass this along. Billy Goodman wants me to let everybody know that the Cumberland Phoenix baseball team will be playing this afternoon in New Albany, Indiana, as they take on IU Southeast to make up a game missed in February. And you can hear the game live starting at 2:40 p.m. on WCOR AM 1490, WANTFM.com, or go to CumberlandAthletics.com. All right, Tim, it's been a little bit different today with not one but two guests to help support this Rotary Golf Tournament, and you're president of the Rotary Club, so they appreciate this. But if you got some roofing needs, you appreciate the business too. It keeps you going.
I do. Don't be upset if we don't talk about roofing for the rest of this time. I want to talk just a little more about this golf tournament.
All right.
That's okay.
God. It's your time.
Yeah. So I just want to tell you a couple things. One, John, thank you for your time and your years that you've put into this. You've poured yourself into this. And I understand how it is to be on that till you die committee, and it's not always, what's the Bible say? Hope deferred makes the heart grow sick. So, maybe we should be looking for you a long-term replacement this year if possible. However, hopefully you'll still participate in that.
Oh, absolutely.
So thank you for that. And Galen, thank you for Galen. If you don't know Galen well, you'll know that her energy level is high. And when she is doing something, she is very, very thorough when it comes to it. She wants it right. She wants it to be good. And she wants to, remember all the things that she can, because she's got other things that she'd be using her time on. So we appreciate her. Like I say, this is multiple years she's helped us with this, and going forward, we appreciate the fact that she's going to help us, moving forward in this. I also would like to say maybe, just thinking about this with Gwen passing just recently, for whole sponsors, maybe there's a spot for us to do in memory of whole sponsor signs. And so maybe we could, find one of those for some of our Rotarians who have come and passed over the years. Maybe that's a good way to just kind of have that kind of field of honor, Rotarians passed, and just have that. Go ahead. What do you think, Gay?
I think that's a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
We're about out of time.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Always good to have you with us, Tim Leeper and John Pope, Galen Wilson, for joining us this morning. And that's going to do it for a Monday. Until tomorrow, I wish you a magnificent day.